Who would have thought a year ago tomorrow that when imperialist Russia invaded Ukraine, that 365 days later, the war between giant Russia and not so giant Ukraine would basically be a draw, at least so far. Well, not many would have thought about that. David can defeat Goliath, especially with help from other big countries. But at what cost? And how long can it go on? Our Josh Einiger with a closer look at the war, he reported from there, the U.S. role, and the part folks in the tri-state are playing.
It's still going on every day in parts of Ukraine. The indiscriminate shelling of civilians, like here in Kherson, a port city in the south, where this week 5 people died and more than a dozen were hurt as Russian artillery hit a residential building, a hospital, even a kindergarten.
They're all counting on the world community losing interest and Ukraine just folding. And Ukraine's not going to fold.
Thousands of miles away, Dora Komiak is working to keep up the fight. She runs Razom for Ukraine, the New York-based nonprofit that's working to channel American charitable giving into what the country needs the most, with an army of 170,000 donors and volunteers raising nearly $80 million to help people whose daily lives are no way to live.
People are making do. You know, my cousin's kids, He's 11 years old. 1 week he goes to school in person, another week he does it distance because the bomb shelter can only hold half the kids. So everyone's kind of made accommodations like that.
This is the busiest border crossing between Poland and Ukraine.
Last year, Eyewitness News traveled to the region to see firsthand the crisis that was enveloping Europe as a tidal wave of refugees washed over the border and met countless volunteers, many of them from the tri-state area.
I'm just waiting for customers, you know.
Mark Zarek flew here from the Jersey Shore, rented a van, and parked himself at the train station in the border town of Przemyśl, a bustling way station teeming with Ukrainian families.
They're out of their homes, they're in another country, they don't know where they're going. It's a hard thing to deal with, really.
With last week's surprise visit by President Biden, who passed through the very same train station to commemorate the war's 1-year anniversary, Dora Komiak says the need has now changed dramatically.
Big picture, Ukraine needs weapons to defend itself. That's the big picture. You're not going to put that in a suitcase. On the border, there's less of a huge flow of people, so the kind of big food kitchens and stuff are less needed.
She's now staffing up in Ukraine, getting boots on the ground to direct aid to where it still is very much needed, in a country that's survived longer than so many people feared, a country she vows will someday win. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Takes more than a village, right? Took villages around the world to help the people of Ukraine. We invite you to join us tomorrow on Eyewitness News for a special look back at the war in Ukraine 1 year later. You can see it at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m., wherever you stream Eyewitness News.